Hi Gemini, welcome to your reading. Thank you for joining me. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you come to the message, and if the messages resonate for you, if it doesn't resonate, and you'll know in the first few cards if it's your situation, it could be that you would like to look at your sun, moon, rising, other signs. So check those out if this one doesn't resonate. But this is all about what Spirit needs you to know about your situation right now, what's happening for you right now, and what Spirit want to communicate with you. Okay, what do we need for Gemini, please, Spirit? Okay, victory and strategy. You have been in a success phase, Gemini. Just had a very similar reading with Taurus, if you've got a lot of Taurus in your chart as well. Very similar. And I did fully shuffle my cards. Okay, there's a decision that you've made, something that you've done that has really proved victorious. What's this about? What's more about this situation? Yeah, thinking woman. Okay. You definitely might resonate with Taurus's reading. You've been thinking in a way that is very, very, very clever. Like what you've done has been very, very clever, but not in a kind of manipulative way. I mean, very clever and very savvy, very, like you saw something that nobody else could see, you took it, you did it, you implemented it, you executed on it, and it was victory. This could be in a relationship or a situation, however it resonates for you. Completely different for everybody. What else about this situation? What else does Spirit want you to know about this situation? What more do we need to know about this situation? What's this to do with? What's this to do with? Oh, okay. Door to personal healing and happiness. Anxiety. Okay. There could be the first thing that I'm getting, the first thing that's coming through is the being stuck in your head with this thinking is kind of leading to an anxious way. There is a lot of healing that's happening. Yeah, there's a lot of healing that's happening as you're going through this. There's attachment. This feels more like detachment. There has been attachment to things that you're detaching from, which is bringing happiness. This could be community, family, however it resonates for you. Let's go straight into healing. What does Spirit want you to know about this healing? Because there's a mental healing that's going on here. There's a mental healing, a concept, conditioning healing that's happening. And this is to do with, this feels like attachment. But there's something that you've done, a decision that you've made that's been very strategical, but it's done the right thing. It's done the right thing. There's like a, do you know what might be for most of you? Okay. It's almost like you made a decision for yourself. For example, you started a course or a personal development, you signed up with a coach, or you signed up with a fitness coach, or something happened. You made a strategical decision to do something that was based on self-improvement and therefore improved relationships or improved career, or grew and evolved that kind of success and that enlightenment path for each of the different, whatever area it is. And it was the right decision to make. It's kind of got you stuck in your head, which is why you might be feeling anxious. But it's thrown up a lot of healing through this process. Yeah, it's thrown up a lot of things that you need to let go of. Like food, if it was for, if you hired a personal, or if you just embarked on health journey, or a different diet, different type of food diet, or anything like that. It's like letting go of the old habits. Okay, let's see what is with this anxiety. What's the healing that's happening with this anxiety? Okay. Yeah, it's going in the right direction for you. If you have felt stuck, I'm anxious. Sorry about my nails. I've had an allergic reaction to nail polish, which has totally messed up my nails at the moment. Discover your life purpose. There's something here that you've done that really is going to pay dividends. It's almost like you haven't even seen all of the victory yet. And love. This feels like self-love as well as love with other people. This also feels like it could be romantic love. There could have been anxiety within romantic relationships, or your perception of romantic relationships. What else is happening here? What other healing is happening here? Yeah, the first domino was a decision that you made that went really well, and it's just thrown up all these other things. Like if you're a business owner and you start a business, it really, or you start a side hustle, or you start learning something new, and completely you don't have any existing knowledge about it, it throws up all sorts of things like imposter syndrome, all sorts of like mind chatter comes up, and a lot of triggers come up as well. But this is really, it's the path that you're supposed to be on. Like this is clear. It's almost like it's not even an evolution, it's clearing out. It feels like it's clearing out. Yes, take off your mask. So you're not adding on, you're taking off. You're just letting go of stuff that really doesn't feel good for you anymore. It's letting go of the things and the pieces that aren't you, Gemini. Letting go of the pieces that aren't you. Okay, what other lessons have you been... Okay. What other lessons have you been experiencing and learning? Self-esteem. Okay. Yeah. It's like, don't have any anxiety or any anguish about... Yeah, there's been a lot of grief happening, Gemini. There's been a lot of grief. This feels like mental grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. You've been letting go of things. Even if we know something's hard to let go of, it creates pain. And there could have been grief that has come up with that, which has caused this anxiety and fear. Okay, it's caused this angle upside down. Cause this anxiety and fear. Okay, so this feels very mental for you, Gemini. And there's been self-love. There's been self-love here. I'm actually going to move this one over because this all feels very connected. The love that you found within relationships, or the love that you found for something and something else outside of you, and inside of you simultaneously. It's the empathy, the love, the compassion that you've been finding has helped you and that's the biggest thing that's come up. That's the biggest thing that's come up. But it's been very it's been quite painful to deal with, but it's leading you to happiness, Gemini. So I feel like this is what you've been through, and if you haven't moved away from it yet, you're moving away from it. It's like you had to just sidetrack here. It's like you had to sidetrack before you really fulfilled and could see the next victory. How to capitalize on this victory. Okay, we're obviously not done. Failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. This self-esteem, it's not about not making mistakes. Success is not about not making mistakes. I feel like that's more important for you to know inside more than anything else. Okay. What else has been happening on your journey? Okay. What else has been happening on your journey? Voyage of the heart. Love flows through you and to you. So where you've been making these head decisions, these strategical decisions, you've also been on a journey that opens up your heart space. Okay? Doesn't mean necessarily emotion. It doesn't mean emotions at all, actually. It means, it doesn't mean emotions at all. It means the ability to connect from your heart, which makes you a wiser leader. Okay? A much wiser leader and a beacon for others. and gates of triumph. Success expands your life. So it's like you just need to get rid, you've just needed to get rid of some of these niggly things that are happening inside on a mental level to then move forward. Because whatever you're doing, whatever this strategy is, this feels like it was deeply thought out, very considered. And there's victory with that. And then it's like, oh, no, hold on a minute. We just need to get rid of this thing before, because there's not enough room. There's not enough room for all of it. And we don't want all of it. We can get rid of some stuff, dump it, and then we can move on. That's what it feels like. It's the attachments to things, potentially old ideals, old ways of doing things, like outdated. I want to say not even outdated ways of doing things. It's ways of doing things that you've been told to do, but you know don't work, so you're changing them. Fogged in, go slow, take time, because it's felt very confusing. You're changing them. But because you're changing them and it puts you in a position where you don't quite know where you're going, you kind of want to know where you kind of know where you're going, but you don't know where you're going. It's like you know where you want to get to, but you don't know how to get there. You're not quite sure the navigation. And this has just slowed you down so that you can really open up, have that kind of open heart space. You can have this voyage of the heart. This voyage of the heart and this fogged in feels very connected. I'm going to leave those like that. Feels very connected, because that's what's felt a bit foggy, because it doesn't mean opening up your heart doesn't mean you have to be full of emotions. In fact, it means completely opposite. Opening your heart is like acceptance of all emotions, so they're not stuck, and it's being able to connect with somebody else through that heart space. It doesn't mean romantic love. It doesn't even mean somebody who's close to you. It means you can see love in everything, because we've got love here as well that's come out in healing, understanding what love is through this. What else does Spirit want you to know about your journey here? Okay. Faraway places, get ready for new horizons. This is a very different way of working, thinking, feeling, growing, evolving for you, Gemini. But this is actually going to make you really happy. It's like you're kind of fixed and you're like, no, I don't want to do it that way. I don't want to do it that way. And then you're like, oh, actually, it's not so bad. That's the energy that's coming through. Okay. There's a lot of success here for you, Gemini. There's a lot of success. There is this anxiety that's come through. It's this mental anxiety. It doesn't feel rooted in emotion. It feels like everything's been emotionally quite restrictive and quite fixed. It's like what somebody else might do for self-care, or for, loving, giving themselves self-love is not what works for you. Balance spirituality and practicality. This is what it's teaching you. Okay, that's the energy that's with you right now. That's the energy that's been with you. The answers you need are coming. So there is a different way of doing things coming. Okay, so where you've been stuck in your mental because you've needed time for this spiritual, this energetic, this spiritual side. The answers are coming, because it's like you've done the work now, Gemini. You've done the work now. Or you're in it. You're doing it. You're in it. It could still feel like you're... Oopsie. Okay. It could still feel like you're in this energy. But it's soon to come out. Working through your fears. It's like this mental craziness, chaos that's been happening is like your biggest fear. It's almost like a fear of losing your mind. But by opening your heart space, you are not going to lose your mind. You can utilize your mind in a much better way once you've connected the spiritual side of things and the mental side of things. It enhances how you can use your mind. You don't lose your mind. Not thinking doesn't mean not being academic. And that feels very important for you, particularly with Gemini energy. You are good enough. No self-doubt here. Self-esteem, failure. You are good enough. Success is not about not making mistakes at all. People just don't talk about them, always. It's time to release negativity. You've got Scorpio, you've got quite heavy Scorpio energy here. So Scorpio could be either heavy on your chart or somebody that you're dealing with. Don't let your past hold you back. Wow, okay. So South Node is all what we're moving away from in our charts. Astrologically, it's what we're moving away from. So it's the energy that we are familiar with, that we know, that feels comfortable for us, but we have to move away from it, particularly the dark side of those energies. So whatever it is, and if you do know your South Node, it feels really important for you to look this up. So move away from the things that aren't serving you. Move away from the familiar and into something new. So you need to know your South Node and your North Node will be the opposite sign. So if you put your time, there's lots of places online to go for a calculator for this, but you can put your time, date of birth, location of birth into any calculator, and it will give you your South Node and your North Node. AstroSeek is quite good. It's one that I use for my readings, so I can recommend that one. But there's lots online if you have a search. But this is moving away from familiar and into something that's new, that feels really purposeful but is new. So you're attached to an old way of doing things. You've got success with this way of doing things, and you're not 100% sure what that's going to look like moving forward. Okay, where are we? What does Spirit want you to know about this? This feels very much about how you feel you're going to use your mind, how you can utilize your mind. But honestly, from this anxiety, we're moving to this happiness. And part of the happiness is to let go of the things that don't serve us, because they just keep us bogged down. Even if there's something really happening going on in our life, if there's something that's not quite happy, or that feels heavy, or that feels restrictive, or feels limited, that feels limited, it kind of dampens down the happiness. 7 of Earth. You feel like you are working towards something, but you're not quite seeing the results. That's because you need to be in this pause. You're not seeing the results in the material world, but they are happening in the spiritual world, in the spiritual realm, if you like, in the spiritual world. They are happening. It's just you might not be able to see or feel them just yet. Balance spirituality and practicality. Okay. 8 of Air. This also means that you're not trapped. Okay, 8 of Air, you are not trapped. There is a way out. It's almost just taking off your own blindfold. 8 of Earth. Keep going. Keep going. Things are starting to grow. It's coming into fruition. Keep going. Even if you can't see the results on the outside, if it feels true, keep going. And don't worry about the things that look or perceive as failures. It's almost like it doesn't matter what the result is. You've just got to keep going, because you'll get to where you want to be. Ace of Fire, a new idea coming in, new action. Messenger of Water. So this is starting to really understand your emotions, starting to understand where you sit with your emotions, having communication come in as well, or this feels like somebody coming in to help you make sense of something on an emotional level or a spiritual level, or both, that then just make something click for you, and you can go, oh, okay, and then you can just let go. It could be from understanding what you need to move away from and towards from your North and South nodes. Your South node is what you are moving away from. Queen of Water, what you are moving away from to really embrace your emotional body. And that doesn't mean for some reason this feels really important for you, Gemini. It doesn't mean being really emotional. It means understanding the emotional body, which can be quite theoretical, as well as spiritual, as well as emotional, as well as physical. They're all connected. It feels like this is what you're learning here. Page of Fire. Yeah. This is like try and test. tried and tested at the moment. Everything needs to be tried and tested. Not for success, but for curiosity, almost. Okay, let's see what energies is actually. Like Spirit saying use these ones. Let's have a look what Spirit want you to know. Oh, hold on a second. I've got cards mixed up here. What does Spirit want you to know? Didn't realise that was happening. Okay. Didn't realise that was when I was shuffling them. I've shuffled them together. Stuck in the mud. You can't there's something that you just can't understand at the moment. There's something you can't understand, and there's like a whisper. Can you see the bird on the elephant's back? There's a whisper of something that you can't quite see. A whisper, something that's really gentle, something that's really quiet. And it feels like nothing's there, but something's there. 6 is important. If that number is important to you, 6 is coming up. Air and fire signs here as well. Making a choice. Okay. Making a choice. This feels for some of you, this is a choice to choose you. This is a choice to choose you being authentically you. Because that will help you to let go, discover your life purpose, and let go of this and embrace the love that's in everything and not judge yourself. There feels like there's a lot of mind chatter going on. Yeah, you're kind of in limbo a little bit at the moment. Moonlight, yes. Intuition. This is also an idea. For you, this feels very much like an idea coming out of nowhere. Like you feel like you're in darkness because you feel stuck, and an idea coming out of nowhere. Like there's somebody will say something to you that will have a profound effect. It's like that elephant and bird situation. It's like you think that it's this really big thing that you're dealing with, and then somebody just says something that just completely transforms how you see or view something or understand something or can relate to something. This feels very inward journey. Details. You need the details. You need to understand the details. It's exactly what we were saying here. You need to understand the details to be able to release, let go, understand, integrate learning. Okay, so pay attention to the details. And Gemini, you're brilliant at that. You really understand things, and you can understand things really quickly. So lean into your Gemini energy there. Education, exactly. You're very good at understanding, knowledge, learning, the details of things, being able to connect everything together, being able to really explain that to other people as well. So understand the education around all of this. Once you understand the education around all of this, or the theory around all of this, or some kind of knowledge base, or even reading older, like the Vedic texts, or something that's much older, or understanding the Upanishads, or something else that's completely different, that still has grounding in your understanding of the world, grounding in your kind of academic leaning, your strategic thinking, because spirituality is in alignment with that when it's used properly, when it's used right, when it's used from truth. We've got wishing well. I want to say making a wish, and I want to say here, making a wish does not mean, or having hope for something does not mean you've lost contact with your mind. It's like you can have hope, and you can have a prayer, and you can have a wish, and it still doesn't take away you can believe in miracles, is what I'm trying to say. That energy feels very complex. It feels very young as well, coming apart. This also, Gemini, for you, very, 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 very apt card with the twins, the mirroring the twins, the yo-yoing back and forth, the wearing 2 masks at the same time almost sometimes, Gemini, and that can be That can make you feel stuck and exhausted even sometimes. But also very frustrated. Okay. This is telling you to make a wish. Understand spirituality from a detailed educational perspective, because that's what's being integrated here. And just your understanding of love in general. And don't be afraid to have like a wish or a prayer. Okay. What's the energy? What does Spirit want you to know about the energy that's influencing you at the moment? Like you personally. The Holy Mountain. This is a spiritual quest. This is going somewhere that feels safe, or finding somewhere. It doesn't have to be physical. This can also just be inside of yourself. A place that you go, finding somewhere that feels safe for you. To explore this spiritual side, to explore this more ethereal side, I want to say, okay? The Tree of Life. How is everything connected, and how is it rooted in the reality that you understand? It could also be get into nature for some of you. I can't believe this card came out for you, Gemini. I can believe it because Spirit are amazing. But of all the cards, you got the Twin card. Yeah, there's I say spiritual quest for some of you. It's like you wouldn't call it that yourself. It's like a spiritual curiosity to understand what all the fuss is about, what's happening. The rattle. This, so ancestral, but this also understanding where spirituality comes from. For me, the feeling around this is, where does spirituality come from? Understanding the roots of spiritual way of life, different spiritual teachers that have come and gone. Understanding the divine. How the divine, almost like how quantum physics meets spiritual and the ethereal flow. Understanding the flow between worlds. Understanding the flow between mind and heart. Okay, that's what you're being asked to lean into. And also this feels very much like you're being asked to master the flow. To really become educated and understand the details of how this all works. I feel like many of you will already have had like a curiosity already on, and if you are already quite spiritual, it's taking that to the next level and understanding something else. The Sweat Lodge. This is complete detoxification from bad education. From things that were untrue, that you thought were true, detoxify. This is understanding the oneness between all of the information that exists. This is definitely a journey for you that you've been going on. And I feel like many of you are still in this energy. Lightning can strike. It's like you will have an epiphany. You will have an epiphany, Gemini. You'll say, oh my God, yes, of course, I get it now. Okay, now I can move on. It will literally be that quick. It will literally be that quick. What's the purpose of all of this? What does Spirit want you to know about the purpose of all of this? What's the purpose of all of this? Okay. Answer the call. You feel curious. You do feel curious. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? You do feel curious. Just let that curiosity feed you. Let that curiosity feed you. In Rama, where are you being called to journey to? Wow. We've just had the Holy Mountain and the Sweat Lodge. There is a journey here for you. There is an understanding, spiritual journey. Understanding the spiritual side, the ethereal side, it's the energetics around spirituality almost. There's some great content. I mean, there's some good and bad content everywhere to do with every topic, but there is some great content out there. But ask around. I almost feel some of this as well is to ask for other people's people that you trust on an intellectual level. If you've got anybody around you, Gemini, that you trust on an intellectual academic level, with like on a strategic level that does have spiritual leanings or does explore spiritual paths, maybe speak to them. That feels really possible and really accessible for a lot of you. Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. This also feels very strong for you because we can't evolve as a race with one or the other. We need to blend and combine and marry and infuse all different elements, all different dimensions, all different ways, all different energies into one, because that's what we are. We are not just a physical body, we are something else as well. And it's understanding the mechanics almost around that, but being able to piece that together. I feel like when you dig down this rabbit hole, you'll end up being really intrigued by what you find. But you are here for a double mission. You're here for the spiritual and the mental thinking victory. You understand what victories can be achieved by using the brain. Now it's almost like now challenge yourself to work out what victories can be gained from using the energetic, the spiritual, and then what happens when you combine them together. But you feel anxious about that pathway. Get grounded, empaths, highly sensitive, connect with nature. Okay. It's like this does feel like just get grounded with spiritual stuff. that's how they're saying it to me. That's how I'm going to say it to you. Just get grounded with the spiritual stuff, man. Like that's literally what's happening for spirit. Like, okay, we just need to know now. We just need to like explore it. There's also something coming up for me with this take off your mask. Like you're possibly worried about this reputation. The reputation that you've built might be changed by the things that you might go into. But it's really important for you to go down this questioning route, this curiosity. Inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. A lot of this is about opening up your heart space. Through this journey, the Holy Mountain, Sweat Lodge, we've got this and the rattle, like understanding all of these different elements is opening your heart, okay? Don't let your past hold you back. It's time to release negativity and you are good enough. There's so much on here that's supporting you. There's so much here Spirit always support us, right? They always support us. But sometimes we need to be open to connect before we really hear the message. It's like this stuck in the mud. Turn around. We can turn around and see. We can just have a different perspective. We can look in a different area. We can look in a different direction. Okay. Sorry if you can hear noise outside. I can hear people talking outside my window, which I'm hoping isn't being picked up on the microphone here. Awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. Okay, Gemini. This is exactly what you're going through. And this suspense from where you have been to where you are going to could feel really scary. But you are so supported and it's an integral part of your life path. If this energy is what you're feeling, if this is resonating with your situation, this will be impacting likely most areas of your life. But you're going through an awakening. And you're getting upgraded at the same time, which is just awesome. I feel like the energy after this is like unbelievable. It's like there's no mountain too high. Once you've completely nailed this and grounded this energy, grounded it in a mental way, and you've really understood from your kind of brilliance, your brilliance of perspective, from your own brilliance, your own intelligence, your own knowing, once you've integrated the two, it's like you're going to be unstoppable. And I feel like that's where you can make a wish. You can make a wish for whatever it is that you want. Remember that, Gemini, because that's always available to you. That's always possible. Okay, so how is Spirit helping you through this energy into your next step, into your next chapter? This doesn't feel like a step. This feels like a chapter closure for most of you. The next step is where we've got the answers are coming. The next step is where these answers are coming. Oh, okay. So this flipped over and we've got two that came out. Okay, we have lightning. Of course we do. There's lots of new ideas coming. There's lots that's going to be illuminated in the darkness for you. We've got lightning twice. Okay, that's amazing. Communication. So this feels like the communication between heart and head. The transformation from where you are to where you're going to get to, and understanding fully and deeply from lots of different dimensions, realms, perspectives, how spiritual and mental integrate. This is a really important part of where we are. Age of Aquarius. This is a really important mission and really important energy. And it will help everybody. This energy, this mission, this knowing, this purpose will help in amazing ways. Divine consciousness. It's the evolution of divine consciousness. But you have access to an infinite pool of wisdom and energy and love inside of yourself. Okay? I just want to get one more here for you. What advice does Spirit want to leave you with, Gemini? Just some advice for Spirit. Advice from Spirit. Just about this. Where you are now. What do you need to know right now? What does Gemini need to know right now? Oh, no, we don't have one. We have two for you. Which isn't surprising. Twins, of course. Why not? Right, we've got Giraffe, the visionary. Rise above earthly matters. Glide through life with grace. You are able to see the right path. Stand tall in your self-worth. And love with a big heart. Self-esteem and love. This is the antidote to what you've been feeling. Sorry, let me put that. Okay. And we've got dear. Oh, wow. Visionary. So this is visionary because you are a visionary, Gemini. You are a visionary. Just naturally with Gemini energy. And then we've got dear love. Be gentle with yourself. You heal with the power of love. And that's exactly what we saw before. You see the light in all things. Acknowledge your self-worth and grace. Wow. What a card to finish on. I hope that was helpful for you, Gemini. Thank you for joining me for your reading, and I hope to see you soon. But take care in the meantime.